Here's the biggest point that I wanted to get across to you. Some of you live this world, some of you don't live this world, and if you don't, that's okay. I'm not being critical, I just want to make a point. In the bio it mentioned that they talked about me mentoring a lot of young professionals around the region. And this is one of the biggest things that I see with many of the young professionals in the region. They don't see their personal growth as being part of the bigger picture. I'm going to give you a little example on numbers, and maybe some of you know this, maybe some of you don't. Specific to Opelousas. Do you know that roughly 30% of the Opelousas population is in the St. Larry Parish school system? Not only do you see them once, you see them in first grade, second grade, early childhood, you see them again and again and again. What might also be interesting for you guys to know, do you know that in St. Landry Parish, the educated population with a 4-year degree and higher, a large percentage, probably somewhere between 25 and 30% of that population, is sitting in this room. Think about that. That's the concentration of education and brain power that we have in this room. I guess there's another room out there too, but let's be fair. Let's characterize it as this room. Think about that. Think about the collective power that you guys bring together. I'd like to talk a little bit, Marcel talked about the Ironman mentality, and I'd like to talk a little bit about that, how I use it in my life, and how you might be able to apply it in your life. I'd also like to talk about an expression that a friend of mine, I don't know if any of you know him, Jeff Willis, who's the athletic director for LSUE. Some of you know that LSUE, I believe, is on 13 national championships in the last 16 years between baseball and women's softball. Jeff Willis rebuilds his program every 2 years. It's a 2-year college. He brings brand new guys in every year in his men's softball and rebuilds them every single time. The Ironman philosophy. Courage is not just having the strength to go on, but going on when you don't have the strength. How does that apply to you? You guys work your butt offs, right? You get home at the end of the day, you do sessions after school. You're probably some of the hardest working people that we have. Because anybody in this room, and I don't know, if you don't know what an Ironman is, just to kind of give you a perspective on it, it's a 2.4 mile swim, a 112 mile bicycle, and then a marathon, a 26.2 mile marathon. Seems overwhelming. So when you're completely spent, how do you keep going? You know, one of the things I found is more often than not, 90% of the time, it's my mental limitations that I put on myself on Ironman. Not my physical limitations, it's my mental. I apply that in my life every day. I find very few circumstances that I can't push myself just a little bit harder. I'm going to go back to Jeff Willis. Jeff Willis's philosophy with his teams, 1% better every day. What if you could do and commit to doing one extra thing a day for you personally? Because if you don't consider yourselves leaders, guys, I think we got a problem. Those kids in those classrooms surely consider you leaders, right? Would anybody disagree with that? That's true. That's the blessing that's what you have. You're in a role to shape and influence lives. But if you're not improving yourself and taking meaningful steps in the commitments to improve yourself, are you really moving the needle? Test scores, I know Patrick is, I know test scores, I know it's important. I know DOE puts restrictions. I know you guys get a lot of things put on top of you that in your mind, in reality, it limits what you could do. But you know the one thing that you have control over? You. You can commit through this school year to doing a little bit extra every day to becoming a better leader throughout the course of the 2019-20 school year. 1% a day. That might be listening to a podcast on the way to work. If you want to put it in your phone, the Leadership Podcast. You can pick that up on iTunes, you can pick it up on iHeart, you can pick that up wherever you want. Listen to it. Listen to what people that are shaping our society talk about and what it takes to move society. Think about what your role is with that, because guys, you do have a role with that. If you don't believe it, I absolutely promise you that your administrators and your students believe that. They look at you as being everything. They look at you as being the path to the future. Are you really committed to do that 1% extra every day? I'm not saying you don't work hard. I'm not saying I don't work hard, but I'm not saying it's easy. That's why I brought up an Ironman. Hell no, it's not easy. It's crazy. It's crazy hard. What you do is crazy hard. But I would submit to you that if you're really, truly passionate about what you do and making a difference, you can find an extra 1% a day to invest in yourselves. And guess what? If you invest in yourselves, is there any chance by making yourself better that it's not going to create a better opportunity for your students in your classrooms? I mean, I just don't, it would absolutely defy logic to me, right? Is there any chance, if your classrooms become more productive, your schools become more productive, that your communities don't come into a better circumstance? Is there any chance that we don't have a more trained and qualified workforce over time? Is there any chance that we don't have healthier communities because more educated students make better life decisions? Probably not. Is there any chance that our crime rates don't go down? Because educated students have an opportunity. They don't have to resort to desperation to survive. Is there any chance of that? Where's all that start? It all starts back with you. So maybe when I was coming here, you were thinking this was about me and what I do, but none of what I do is about me and what I do. Everything about what I do is to try to build collaboration, to try to build leaders, to try to bring people together to collectively make a positive difference. Hopefully, that collective positive difference is new buildings being constructed like you're seeing in a lot of places here. But it doesn't happen without building the foundation, guys. You're the foundation. I don't know if you believe that. I don't know if you accept that responsibility, but I'm telling you, you are. You may not think it's fair that that burden get put on your shoulders, but I don't know of a more consistent catalyst that exists in anything in our society than you guys right here, our public education system. If we fail with you, we failed overall. There's just no way around it.